Okay, Life is Beautiful 14 says, what's the best decision you guys have made?
Getting married and having kids.
Asking April to dance.
Hi everyone, we are here with a Q&A and we have cute little Evie here.
Oh, she's so cute.
And a lot of you have been asking about her name. Why do we call her Evie? Well, her name is Elizabeth, and Elizabeth has an E for Eliz and a B for Beth. And
We split up her name
to EB. So her name's Elizabeth Hannah. We call her EB, and that's how we do that. So I know it's kind of confusing, but we also have been calling her Lizzie, and we also have been calling her Elizabeth. So kind of just whatever.
We'll see what sticks.
I love EB. I think it's cute. Baby EB.
Evie. And Andrew can say it really good too.
Yeah,
EB.
he loves saying it, and that's the only way he can say it clearly. So.
We started a Q&A, live Q&A, but the internet was not being good to us, so we ended that. And then you guys asked this question on Twitter and Instagram, so we're going to take questions. April?
Yeah. And then we started this one, but Davey was too tall, so now he's sitting on the floor.
Correct.
If you're wondering. All right, first question off Twitter. It says, does it feel awkward vlogging in public, and do people stare at you? A little bit sometimes. Yes, people stare at me. Do I care? Nope, I don't care. Do you care?
It's more awkward like around people we know, like family and stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's a little weird, but in public, you just own it. You just go for it, whatever. It is a little awkward when you're by yourself. When I'm by myself, it's funner when we're together or we're having fun. It is kind of hard by yourself.
But I'll do it in the grocery store, and I know people are staring at me funny, but I really don't care.
Just like whatever.
So
you just go for it. Piano Gal Music. How was the home birth?
I absolutely loved it. It was great. I wish that we would have figured out. Well, you know what? I wouldn't change anything because everything, who knows, if you change one thing, it could like change everything else. So everything went really great. And I don't think that there was any parts that were like scary or I wish I didn't do that. No, everything happened and I felt very led and guided. And so really everything was great and I loved it. It was one of my favorite experiences ever.
Okay,
she's so
girl 2000, do you plan on having more kids?
No, I think I'm done. I feel 100% sure that I'm done. But saying that, I mean, I will know when I'm 90 if I had more kids.
We're not making any permanent changes right now, but we don't plan on having more kids.
I'm not planning any more kids.
And April's pretty good at knowing her body and avoiding pregnancy, so I think we're done. We'll have to buy a new car.
Well, that's not even why. I just feel like our family's complete. If I felt like we should have another one, I would, but I really feel like I am done having kids and it's time to just focus on raising the 5 that we have and spending time with them and being a good mom and dad to them. So I feel like we're going to have a lot of fun. Next year, I just feel like it's going to be a really good year. So Angela Lee asks how we keep calm when the kids are misbehaving.
Wait, bread's done.
Oh, better get the bread. Go get it.
You go ahead.
I wouldn't want the camera catching my reaction sometimes. I wouldn't want the camera catching my reaction sometimes. In fact, you can't always keep your cool when there's 4 kids fighting and ripping each other's heads off. Like, sometimes you have to get a little angry and firm, and sometimes I yell at them a little bit. You know what? It happens. We get angry. Sometimes they're being totally crazy. But we don't want to, advertise that through the whole entire world. So we just when we have to discipline them, we do it, and we have a very structured way of doing it, and I think that helps a lot. So if you want to keep your cool with your kids, you have to have a plan ahead of time. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to keep my cool with my kids. You need to sit down with them, let them know what's expected of them, and this is what we've done in our family meetings. We've all sat down together. This behavior is acceptable. This behavior is not acceptable. If you do unacceptable things, here's the list of consequences that come. And so they know what consequences are coming for them as soon as they act out, because they know our family rules and they know the consequences for every family rule that is broken. So I think that helps us a lot to keep our calm, because if someone does something, it's like, oh, you hit your sister, you just earned 2 chores. They knew that they earned 2 chores as soon as they hit their sister, because that is what you get when you hit. So as soon as they accept that consequence and and do the chores and apologize, then we just move on and forget about it. If you're curious as to where we got most of the ideas for that plan, we read an awesome book. It's by Nicolene Peck. It's called A House United. And it has so many amazing ideas to help keep your family united and focused on what is truly important. What has been the best moment since having baby Evie? Honestly, watching the other kids, just how in love they are with her and like begging to hold her all the time. Just little precious moments with all my kids and snuggling with the older ones and her at the same time have been my favorite moments.
Okay, bread's out.
And staring at her. I stare at her a lot. And I smell her. Just having my baby here. I love it. I'm so happy she's here.
Okay, this question is from Ella Higgins 7. Where would you like to go on vacation with your children when Evie is older?
Well, Lake Powell always comes to mind whenever we think of vacation because that is our ultimate favorite family fun spot.
It's the best. You get away from everything. Nothing against you guys, but sometimes it's nice to turn off technology and just be with the family.
And we still vlogs, but we have to figure that out because there's no Wi-Fi or internet there, but that's the same thing.
We can't break our streak of daily vlogs. I haven't missed in over 400 days. Not a day.
You know what, though? I also think it'd be really fun to go on a Disney cruise. Zayd's been asking about that.
That'd be fun.
We've never done that. We went on a cruise on our honeymoon, and then we went on another one when I was pregnant with Daisy. But I just think that a Disney cruise would be really fun. So maybe we'll do that in a few years. How are you spending your Christmas this year? Oh, yes. And that is from Christina Marie. So I'm excited. This is the first year that we are going to stay home ever in our marriage. And I'm actually really excited. And the kids have accepted it and they seem excited too. They're like, awesome, that means I'll get to play on the sledding hill. I'm like, yeah, we'll just play with your toys and relax and stay in our jammies and drink hot chocolate and candy and just sit home.
It's going to be different.
I know, I'm excited. I think we will have a little bit where we're like, oh, I kind of miss the craziness of like being with the family all day. Because normally we are with my side of the family from like 10 a.m. until 2. And then we go and get to his mom's about 3. And we stay there and we even spend the night normally. So, but this year there's always a few sick people. And I just want to keep her safe. So we're going to just keep our distance from big groups of family members.
Okay, next one. Amy Parent says, what's one thing you wish you did with your other kids that you are doing with Elizabeth?
You know what? I feel like I've done what I'm doing with her with all of my kids.
I wish we had started daily vlogging sooner.
Yeah.
Then we would have every day of all of our kids' lives. Like, you guys have seen her since before she was...
Well, and we can look back on this when she's older. She'll be able to see every day of her life up until that point. Like, that would be so incredible. I mean, I don't even have baby pictures of me.
I know, let alone
really
something video every day.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's very rare pictures and video clips of me when I'm little, and I think I have one about this age with my whole family. But I don't even know where it is. It's in our wedding video, digital copy of it. But I just think that's so incredible. Ender, most of his life is on, like, probably half of his,
most of his,
like 2 of his 3 years. So, I mean, that's kind of cool, but maybe that's, I wish we would have had more.
Nothing much has changed, but just
everything
daily
else
vlogging.
I really, something that I've done with her that I wish that I did with the other kids, this is something Davey and I were talking about, is I wish we would have bought a better stroller from the very get-go, because we've had, this is our 5th kid, and we finally have a nice stroller, and it's like, we're done. I wish I would have invested the money back then and had something that would have just lasted through the years.
Would have made Disneyland a whole new experience.
Yeah, we've been to Disneyland with so many broken strollers and just pushing. We always
don't turn. It's like, get out of the way! I'm coming through.
Running into people because you can't turn. It's
bad.
That's one thing. So Miranda Oppenheimer. I like your last name. That's fun to say. I hope I didn't say it wrong. She says, what's your favorite family holiday tradition? I love watching your videos. So many good ones. You know what? I think it's still my I Spy with my little eye. That melts my heart watching the kids and even getting under there with them. We lay underneath the Christmas tree and look up, and all of our heads are just like touching, and we lay there, and it's so fun. And we just look up and play I Spy, and it's just precious. It's my favorite.
Have you and Davey both lived in Utah your whole lives, from Kylie to Spain? Yes. I did serve a mission. I lived in Mexico for a little while where I learned to speak Spanish, so I lived in a different country for a little while, but other than that, we both lived in Utah.
Yep.
Both
Utah,
Utahns.
born and raised, Utahns.
Yep.
Look at them mountains over there.
Okay, Alexis Smith says, what part of parenthood are you two most excited to experience as parents of 5?
Oh my. I feel like we've experienced most of it. You know what? Parents of 5, I think just having my kids I think it's going to be fun to have teenagers. I'm already noticing, this is the first year we've been able to pull Settlers out and actually have a full-on
real game.
Competitive game with just Daisy and Zayd and me and Davey. Ambery, obviously, but she's even pretty good as long as we help her a little bit. She still needs a little bit of help knowing, what cards to use when. But really, it's fun to be able to do something that you would not normally be able to do, because we had such little kids for so long that we would think, oh, we have to put them all to bed before we can do something like that. But now it's let's stay up late and watch a movie and play this game, and it's so fun. So I'm excited to have teenagers.
And once they start driving, they can run errands to us, drive each other around. They can start taking care of themselves. Driving.
See, that's one thing I'm not looking forward to experiencing. Yes. Is my teenagers driving.
Okay, Southern Chick Forever says, looks like you're bouncing back well, you're amazing. What is your number 1 child training tip?
Child training? Like dog training?
Teach them to roll over. Maybe child raising.
It's I want to do this, but I just do this because I don't have a hairy face. I don't know.
Child raising tip.
What tips for child raising do
I would say, do what you say you're gonna do. Don't give empty threats. And don't give threats you can't uphold.
If you say you're gonna do it, you better do it, and that's why you better hold back from saying crazy things like, if you don't stop that, you're gonna lose Christmas. Just don't say that, because you're not gonna take away Christmas. Come on.
Yeah, I'd say, overall, that's one thing I want to teach my kids is to be honest, do what, I want them to do what they say they're going to do. I want them to be honest, so how can we expect them to if we're not going to do it?
And I think with our first kid, we would, fall into that trap a little bit where we'd be do this or else this, and then we just, weren't going to do it. But I feel like we've gotten better with the more kids we've had.
Yeah. Okay, Bizabeth Jane says, are you guys planning on... No, let's see.
Bizabeth, that's cute.
Okay, Bizabeth Jane says, are you coming to CVX Live again?
Yes!
Woo woo! Yes, we are. We will be there. Come see us. CVX Live, it's in March. It's the end of March.
I'm so excited.
And we may even bring Evie
We'll
there
bring
for
her
a while.
for sure, because I'll be feeding her still. But last time we brought all the kids and we had a lot of help there, my sisters and stuff. So we'll see.
Okay, Life is Beautiful 14 says, what's the best decision you guys have made?
Getting married and having kids.
Asking April to dance.
That's a good one, honey.
I got the chills. I'm gonna cry.
Wait, don't cry.
Okay.
You're not gonna cry.
Yeah, that's it. I asked her. She said yes.
And the best decision I ever made was saying yes, so...
My worst decision was sitting down here doing this. It's very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
All right, Maddie Malay says, why is Zayd homeschooled? Will he ever go back to regular school?
Zayd is homeschooled because last year we had a hard time in school when we transitioned from our other school to this school, and he just didn't love it, and so he chose to be homeschooled, and that's fine with us. I actually really love it. He is so smart. It's not a challenge, really. It was more of a challenge trying to get him to go somewhere he wasn't happy than it was to get him to do homeschool. So homeschool's been a huge blessing to us, and I love it. But Daisy didn't want to do homeschool. She loved her new class and her teachers and her friends, and she just wanted to go to school. So I let them decide for themselves. And Zayd talks about going back to school next year. I'm not sure what he'll decide when it comes down to it. We do make him stick to his decision once he makes it. It's not I'm going to be homeschooled for 3 months, then I'm going to go back to school. It's at the beginning of the year, what do you want to do this year? Do you want to go to class? If you're going to class, you have to do these things. You have to be prepared for this. If you want to do homeschool, if you're doing homeschool, you have to do this and this and this. And he makes the decision. So I'm fine with letting him do that. Eventually, I do think that he'll want to go back with his friends, but I don't know when that will be. So SBurk07 asks, what was your favorite part about her birth? Obviously, the second she was out of me. That was my very favorite part.
Watching the video, it changed like that. She's,
that's how I feel. Like, I'm, like, you're just trying so hard, pushing with all your might just to get this over with. And then the second it's done, I feel immediate relief. I immediately feel like there's adrenaline. Like, you just feel so good. I didn't feel any pain after that. It was just like all butterfly and rainbows and in love with this sweet little baby. And so that, of course, that's my favorite part. It was like magic.
That's my favorite part too. Like, you always worry about your kids. I mean, no matter what, you're always worried about them. But it's kind of hard when they're like in her stomach and you can't really see them or touch them or hold them. You can't do anything. You feel restricted. So it's always a big relief once you can see them. You can just monitor them, check them. So I feel like you're a little more in control once they're out. So yeah, same for me once they're born. Sammy T says, in your vlog a few days ago, you talked about how you've been able to work at home for yourself for the past 10 years. What kind of advice would you give someone who's wanting to follow in a similar direction? Ooh,
that's a good question.
I would say, find something you're good at, but I would say, a lot of people try to jump into entrepreneurship 100% from the beginning, but you can't do that. You have to, especially if you have a family, you have to support yourself, you have to support your family, you have to do that. Build up something on the side. Don't just throw everything away and do this crazy thing where it's all or nothing. Did. Yeah, that's what I did. I did it for like 2 or 3 years
Yeah, we invested in the equipment because before we got married, when we got engaged, I think it was even before we got engaged.
It was before we were engaged.
We were dating and we knew that we wanted to get married, but we hadn't been engaged yet. But he knew that he wanted to be a videographer. Like, he just has always loved making movies, and he was good at it. He had a talent for it. He just knew, I want to buy a nice computer and a camera, and I want to film weddings. That's what he wanted to do. But he didn't have enough money, and I had a credit card that was empty, and I was like, just, here, take my credit card, buy your camera and your computer, and just...
Which we probably wouldn't recommend borrowing somebody's credit card that you're not even engaged to, but other than that...
It worked for us, but that's probably very rare. Don't let your boyfriend take your credit card, guys. I was stupid, but it worked out good. But it's just kind of funny because I really felt good about it, and I knew we were going to get married. So whatever.
She's like, even if it doesn't work out, you're still paying this back. And I said, all right.
But I knew we were going to get married. So a few months later, we got engaged. A few months later, we got married. It wasn't that scary because we were very serious. But anyway, so he bought that stuff. And he still had a job. He hated his job. I remember him coming home every day and I'd say, how was work? And he's like, worst day of my life. Every day. But then when he was doing wedding videos or creating videos, he was happy. It didn't feel like work. He was proud of his work. I would watch every single video that he'd made. We just slowly built something from something that he loved to do. And we grew that into an actual business that, because he was getting hired by so many brides to film their wedding, he wasn't able to work very much at his job. So he was requesting all of these weekends and days off, and the bosses were getting really bugged at him.
So it just got to that breaking point where they're like, okay, you need to make a decision, one or the other. Like, you've taken all these days off, you need to do that or this. You can't do both right now. So I just said, okay. Then
see ya.
And it happened right after Zayd was born. I got the insurance. We were able to pay for him to be born. And then after that, I was like, okay, guys, I'm done.
Because that was scary. We didn't know what we were going to do for insurance, but especially if you're pregnant, you're like, So yeah, I'm glad that you had that insurance while we had Zayd. But now we have Christian Healthcare Ministries, and that's awesome. So if you should go check them out.
Okay, Grace Whale Y says, can I be a part of your family?
You already are.
You already are. You guys are our extended family. Kate Rochester says, What helps you stay positive each day, even on the really tough parenting days?
Oh, stay positive.
Vlogging does.
Yeah,
you have to be positive.
Yeah, you know what? There's days where I'm just like, this day sucks. But then I'm like, oh, we better think of something fun to do for the vlog. But that's great because then it makes me change my attitude. It's really good, actually. Like, I'll be like, well, what can we do to get out of this rut? Maybe we need to go to McDonald's for dinner. You know what? That's something that will keep my brain sane and everyone gets excited. Like, every once in a while, I'll think of something to do just because I'm like, we're not having fun right now.
Well, even like when you have the camera there, you're smiling and then it changes you. It changes your whole attitude. It just, something comes over you and you just start having fun that day. Just smiling, it makes you smile and it makes you have a good day. So start vlogging. That's our...
You know what? Or just make sure that you're choosing to be happy. You're choosing to smile. You're choosing to, your kid just spilled that entire bowl of soup that you just made all over the floor instead of being like, I just made that, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Something that really helps me is the saying that goes through my head whenever something like that happens, that people are more important than things. That always helps me put into perspective when my kids break or ruin something, that I don't have to freak out on them or treat them like they're less important than the thing that they just broke. Because obviously they're way more important than the thing they just colored on or broke. So that helps me a lot too.
Pego Lampe says, what would you say is the biggest difference between raising a girl versus raising a boy?
I would say my boys are just like so hyper and bouncy and physical, like they just need to be digging and doing things, and my girls have more been like, I can set them there and put like a little toy and they'll just like play with it. They're kind of more calm when they're little.
Play with blocks for a long time though. It just depends.
Yeah, but they're just like, there's so much more energy with the boys, I've noticed. That's my biggest thing, I think.
I say like clothes and drama and stuff with the girls.
Oh,
like,
see, but then when they get older, they're more dramatic.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get worse. And the boys don't care about clothes. Zayd wears...
Ender doesn't wear clothes ever.
Ender doesn't wear clothes. Zayd wears swim shirts every day. Like, they don't care.
Oh, yeah. I think that some boys really care, though. That's our kids.
That's our kids.
Yeah, the girls, they'll fight over clothes and stupid things like that. And I have to remind them, too, like, people are more important than things. They hate it when I say that.
Thanks, you guys. You guys are awesome. Sorry we couldn't do it live, but it didn't work out. But it's even better like this. So I'm glad baby Evie got to hang out with us.
She is so precious. Oh, I love her.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later.
All right, let's get a close-up of baby E for you guys in her little shoesies. Oh, it's a baby. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, she's so tired. Bye, you guys. Oh, no.